This is Lakshmi. In today's class, we'll discuss about what is Hadoop. So, Apache Hadoop is a framework which allows for distributed processing of large data sets across cluster of commodity computers using simple programming model. That means we are going to use a cluster of commodity hardwares here, and we are going to make use of simple programming model. The simple programming model is nothing but map reduce right. So with respect to the Hadoop, it is nothing but it's an open source data management with scale out storage and distributed processing. So it is an open source data management with scale out storage and distributed processing. So these are the important characteristics of the Hadoop. That is, Hadoop is reliable, flexible, economical, and scalable. So these are the key factors and key features of the Hadoop. And robust and it is scalable. The most important thing you are going to learn here is Hadoop, and it's all about structure. You can see here, the thing is, you can see here, with respect to the RDBMS, it is a structured, and EDW is a enterprise data warehousing, massive parallel processing, and NoSQL. That is your HBase is a NoSQL product. MongoDB is a NoSQL product. Like that, these are all some NoSQL products, and which is continuing to the Hadoop. So it is structured, and RDBMS is structured, and when you take the NoSQL and the Hadoop, it comes with the multi and unstructured things, data types. And with respect to processing, its processing is limited and no data processing, something it will be. But with respect to the processing is coupled with the data. That means its process is coupled with the data. That means whenever we implement any processing here, those processing requires, those algorithm requires data. Unless and until you pass the data, you cannot see the processing doesn't happen. And its governance is structured and standard, whereas it is loosely structured. And with respect to schemas required for RDBMS, schema is required for writing purpose, and for the NoSQL products and for the Hadoop, schema is required for the reading purpose. And with respect to the speed, it is fast, and with respect to the Hadoop, it is also fast. And RDBMS is a licensed software, and you require some support here when you come for the NoSQL and the Hadoop. And its cost is that means with respect to license, because all the Oracle and all they require license, so you need to pay for the license. And with respect to the resources, they are all known entity. RDBMS are known entities, and whereas the NoSQL and Hadoop are not known entities, they are growing and complex with respect to the complexities and their wideness. And it is best fit for RDBMS best fit for interactive OLAP analytics and complex ACID transactions and operation data stores. Whereas Hadoop and the NoSQL is best fit for data discovery, processing unstructured data, and massive storage and its processing. Let us take an example how the Hadoop plays an important role. Let us take why we require a DFS. DFS is nothing but a distributed file system. DFS is a distributed file system where the files are distributed among different sources, and the processing happens from the different sources, right? So let us see an example here. We have one machine and we have 1 terabyte of data, and to process this 1 TB of data with the help of one machine, it requires 4 IO channels, and each channel is having 100 Mbps of speed. Whereas if you take, that means to do this job, to process this 1 TB of data, it nearly taking a 45 minutes of time. Whereas if you go for the distributed file system, where I'm having a 10 machines are there and 4 IO channels are there, and each channel having 100 channels are there, each channel of 100 Mbps, Here also we have 4 IO channels, same thing is there, but we are implementing the distributed file system. Therefore, here to process this 1 TB of data, we require 45 minutes of time, whereas here we require a 4.5 minutes of time. That means we have the processing time is reduced to almost at the extent. As you know that our session will be having an Annie, and Annie is again came with the questions. That is, Hadoop is a framework that allows for distributed processing, small data sets and large data sets. What is the answer for that? Is Hadoop consists, it processes the large data sets also as well as the small data sets also. But the power of the Hadoop distributed file system, you can see when you process the large data sets. That is what here I'm saying. Large data sets is the basic answer, but it does not mean that it will not work with the small data sets. It works with the small data sets too. That's what the answer is. It is capable to process small data sets. However, to experience the true power of Hadoop, one needs to have a data in TBs, because where the RDBMS takes hours and fails, where Hadoop does the same thing in a couple of minutes. That is the power of the Hadoop. So in today's class, in today's session, we have learned about what is Hadoop and the differentiating factors and the key factors we have learned. In our next session, we will see about the Hadoop ecosystem in our next session. Thank you for listening to the class. Thank you.